Hey, yo, what's going on, guys? Got a brand new deck guide for you guys today. Today, we're going over some En Sabah Nur Dracula dump style decks, or just deck, that I found on Untapped. So I don't know necessarily who made it. If you guys know who made it, please let me know down in the comments below. But this deck actually was a lot of fun, and we climbed actually really well with this list over here. Of course, the premise is either to get all of your big cards on the board, whether that's with a Jubilee, whether that's with a Dragon Lord, or whether that's with En Sabah Nur, or if they're still in your hand, allow Dracula to be able to absorb their power at the very end of the game. That's the general concept of this list. I hope you guys have played a Drac list or Drac dump list before, but that's pretty much it. Big power cards on the board, big power cards eaten by Drac. You do have Quicksilver and Domino, so you have some targeted draws at the beginning of the game. Of course, that takes up a draw for Quicksilver and for Domino. So with Quicksilver, of course, at the beginning of the game, it's one of the first 3 cards you draw, and then, of course, you draw a 4th card. And then with Domino, it is your only draw you get on turn 2. So, just kind of keep that in mind as it comes into this, but it allows you to kind of get some of these bigger draws later in the game, or keep some of these bigger draws in your deck for some better En Sabah Nur value, some better Jubilee value. And when you're looking at this list as well, you have debris in order to just fill up the board. So you have rocks on the other 2 lanes that debris isn't on, which are 0 powered, of course. So it's a 0 powered card that En Sabah Nur can target to give you value from swapping it with a different card in your deck. Of course, when it comes to playing Dracula and Jubilee, you don't necessarily want Dracula in your front row because En Sabah Nur will look at, of course, the card's power in the front row. Unless you have the rocks in the board, Dracula is a card that can be swapped out for a different card. And you kind of want to keep Dracula on the board so it can, absorb some of that big card power at the end of the game. Jubilee, you're okay having Jubilee in the front row because it's a 1-powered card. And swapping that out to get value is kind of actually pretty solid there. But that's kind of like the main things I would say with this list is just making sure you order your cards in the front row as much like the best way possible, so you don't swap out like a Dracula for something smaller, or swap out a bigger card for a smaller card. I mean, more often than not, you're not going to be swapping out a bigger card for a smaller card. But just really don't want to have Dracula in the front row at all is kind of the concept there. You, of course, have Drax in this just as another big power scaler. Drax is just really good at being able to scale. It only moves to a lane if you would be moving or winning that lane if it moves over. So it can just stay, in its lane currently and gain power as well if you're not going to be moving over and winning that lane, which is something really solid there. En Sabah Nur at a 4.6 is a way better stat line with the OTA. And at a 4.9 is actually pretty decent for what it can do, especially if you do buff En Sabah Nur, by the way. The on reveal, like the Celestial Chosen En Sabah Nur, maintains that buff, kind of like the way Bruce Banner does into the Hulk. So En Sabah Nur would be like 10 or 11 power if it gained 1 power or 2 power. So just kind of keep that in mind. That's something really cool about En Sabah Nur being able to maintain the power is something I really like there. You do have Hulk in here, and you're probably like, why do you have Hulk in here? Hulk's just a big body. Like it is a 14-powered card. You, of course, could do something like a Destroyer, or you could do like a Hulkling kind of thing, but you're not playing Destroyer out like almost ever unless you're in a location that can turn off on reveals, or you played a card that can turn off the on reveal kind of thing there. So like Hulk being a 14-powered body is kind of just the thought process there. I know you're not getting a high Evo Hulk value, but it's just a big body, which is kind of like what I was thinking about originally too. I think you might see it me talk about it in some of the gameplay, but it makes sense just to have big bodies to be able to get that Dracula value, or just to get that En Sabah Nur value. That's a general gist of the deck we have over here. We're gonna jump right into some gameplay from stream, where we, like I said, we actually climbed quite a bit with this list, and then yeah, I will see you guys at the end of the video. Okay, do start with Quicksilver. Quicksilver, already giving Galactus value. Cool. This is going to be kind of rough for En Sabah Nur things. Go Domino right. Now, Debris middle is cool, because that's just going to be continual value for Galactus. They Corvus, Weapon H, and Dracula. Okay. I'm going to go Jubilee left. Which I don't know why we have regular Hulk in here. I might take Hulk out for something. I mean, I guess Hulk's just a big body. It's a thought process, which that's fair. That's weapon H right there, by the way. Oh, there's Hulk. I mean, Hulk on the board. Hulk is on the board. Okay. They get the buff. That's fine. They Conchu and it brings Drac middle. I Boomer Snap. They probably retreat. But just good odds for us. They Morb. Modok. Proxima goes left. Scorn. Moon Knight. Yeah, we just take that over. And we even low rolled. Oh, just go middle, don't go right. Oh my gosh, that was close. That was actually super close. Literally just boiled down to the proc there on Scorn. Holy smokes. That was way closer than it should have been. The next up here, we also got someone in the kingdom over here. Let's go. All right, we do start with En Sabah Nur. We have Galactus. We'll go ahead and get Quinjet there. Dahoud. That's actually really good for us. Because we'll get continual Galactus value, at least for these first 2 turns. Okay, we can't play a big card there. Domino, we'll play Domino right. Because our main process here is for En Sabah Nur things. I'll play Drax middle. They probably play Demon here. That's unfortunate. I get Drax. The question is, are they going to contest Expansion or what's going to happen Expansion? They go Drax. I go Drax. They get Iron Patriot card. I get Tribunal, which is honestly not half bad for me. And they get Negasonic. Okay. Oof. I actually go En Sabah Nur middle. I go En Sabah Nur middle. I either get Dracula, Debris, Giganto, Hulk, Infinite, and it hits one of the Raptors. So I actually don't hate this for us here. They do snap me. They Negasonic. Frigga. Okay. They move their herd. I'm gonna snap back into Dragon Lord. Or snap back into Jubilee middle. They Fenris, Negasonic. Jubilee comes out for Hulk. And then double Negasonic is a little interesting. I just go Dragon Lord middle. Or a Jubilee. I have a lot of power, so they can Cannonball or Chi me. So I think I just play Dragon Lord for power. They Killmonger. Killmonger Gambit. Fenris gives Killmonger. Okay. And we still win breakers. Cool. And En Sabah Nur never fails us! That could be one of the options in here. What's going on, Chew? This is interesting. I don't like this location either. It's a little rough for us. A little rough. You can get a card here. Good old Victoria hand. Get Clubhouse. Yeah. This is a very interesting kind of situation for us. We have cool En Sabah Nur things. Oh. Interesting. Very interesting stuff there. We get Dragon Lord. This gives me En Sabah Nur. They go En Sabah Nur. These locations are just not my fave. It's been about an hour 30 fixing technical difficulties. That sucks, bro. That is no fun. So it gets Jubilee out. We drew one rock. We have Giganta. We have Hulk. We're hoping for not debris, pretty much. Rhino. Mole Man. It's a smart play. Jubilee. What do you turn into? Jubilee turns into... That will work. That will work. You're pushing for a affiliate the past 2 days. Well, I hope your push continues to go well. Well, I'm sorry that your snap stopped working, bro. This seems pretty good. Debris. Okay. So actually, Victoria Hand is what swaps out here. Or Patriot. Wait, it's a 50-50. And they get the Vic out for Gambit. Cool. And we high rolled. Sweet. More Arishem. Good old Arishem. Alright, let's make them have to contest right. We have Jubilee here too, which is cool. Get the Quicksilver down. Got Domino there. Mosh Pits. Actually, no, we're going to play Domino middle. Soak up some Mosh Pit value. They have to have a 2-cost to play there to contest. Celine hits Jubilee, which honestly is pretty good for our deck because En Sabah Nur can just change that out. Okay. I can go Jubilee here into En Sabah Nur middle. Or Jubilee here to En Sabah Nur there. They Sugi. I don't like that. Let's go Jubilee here. Dragon Lord's pretty good. Red Hulk. We get the low roll. Do I ever? I mean, they just film right every time. Let's go! Huge. Huge. That'll work. That will work. I guess that's like one of the ebbs and flows of this, is hitting the debris. Wolfsbane. Okay. What's going on, Nat? How you doing, bro? Celestio's Chosen's an on reveal 4-9. On reveal 4-9. Swap your lowest powered card in your front row with a card from your deck. Did you have Chi there, Tet? Was that a Chi game? Good old Silk. No Chi. I was thinking Chi was coming down. That's why I retreated. I retreated because of the Chi. This is a pretty good kind of situation here for us. Pretty good. We get En Sabah Nur. They Miles, which goes left. Okay, that's fine. How big was Galactus? Galactus was 14, but I also had Dracula. We either get Dracula. Actually, I think this is a snap. We either get Dracula, Hulk, or Infinite in this situation. With the En Sabah Nur? Yeah. An arrow. That's fine. That is fine. Jubilee swaps out here. And we get Hulk. Sweet. And this either gives me Dracula or Infinite. Seems pretty good. You got any Demons of Silent and you're gonna Killmonger? Dracula was like a 1 out of 3. I think I do this. Yeah, I think we have so much power. Let's see. Wakanda. Yeah, no, that would be so insane, Brady. Would be crazy. Okay. The thing is, if we get a location here like that they can't play into, they can still Space Stone Thanos over there. Iron Patty. Can I draw a debris? That's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Very, very rough. They could play a 6-drop here, right? I think. No, they can't play a 6-drop here. What do they play? Supergiant? Oh, En Sabah Nur. En Sabah Nur. Oh, this is a lot of big cards. a lot of big cards for you, boy. But do I end up playing anything left? Or I think I honestly... Well, that's going to be changing for sure, right? Shuri? Okay, well, I'm glad we did not play that there. This turns into Reality Stone, which turns into Space Throne. If I snap, they retreat. So we don't snap. Okay. All right. That'll work. Yeah, no, that Dragon Lord hand was crazy, which is why we played it left anyways, because we knew Dracula's happening. It just was not an En Sabah Nur game. Yuffie! Okay. Quicksilver, Giganto, Dracula, Debris. This is also probably not the best location for this deck, but we're doing all right with it. We're doing pretty swell with it. I would love to do like the multiple man or like Phoenix Force kind of deck, but Gambit kind of messes that up, doesn't it? Gambit does kind of mess that up. Is the Chamo deck the one with Gladiator? I think it has Gladiator, Misery, and Shang-Chi. I lose Dracula. Ouch. They lose Elektra. Okay, so I see what they're playing. They know what I'm playing. They're playing the W deck. Cable. Ouch. The cool thing is I could play... Oof. I can play into... Okay, so they have first Steps Galactus. It's about to be Sugi there. Or they move... Oh, they're trying to play Sugi middle. Gotcha. We get En Sabah Nur, and we get the proc. Negasonic. Okay. Into Drax. So I either get Dragon Lord or I get Hulk. Get Dragon Lord or I get Hulk. They have Elektra destroyed. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. That'll work. Cool. They did not draw their Ronin. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you guys did stick around the very end, let me know down below. How are you guys feeling about En Sabah Nur? Is it kind of just an underwhelming meh kind of card to you guys? Or is it okay? You know, for what it does, it's not like the worst thing at all. And, you know, I like the value you can get from it. I'm actually, like, okay. I don't think it's necessarily mad. I think you kind of have to build around it. Like for a season pass card, maybe I want a season pass card that's maybe a bit more flexible, but like it's still in like a different type of like 3 to 4 decks, which I think is still pretty flexible. Doesn't mean it's super niche. And to be able to hit the condition, it doesn't seem too hard. In all seriousness, kind of situations here. Of course, like you have Dragon Lord and Jubilee. This list to be able to pull cards into those front rows potentially if you don't have that debris, which is something that's cool. But I think this card is pretty solid. I don't think it's anything crazy or it's like super OP like maybe some of the other season pass cards we've had recently. But I think for what it does, it's not bad, and I really had a lot of fun playing this deck. And let me know, down in the comments below, what you guys' thoughts are on En Sabah Nur, thoughts on this deck. What have you guys been playing? Have you guys hit Infinite yet, or how is the climb to Infinite taking or doing for you guys? And yeah, please feel free to comment, subscribe if you're new, hit that notification bell to be alerted when we are posting videos, and hit that like button. It's been real. God bless, and Tucker out.